What's going on, everybody? I don't like the way this thing is moving so slow. I think it's maybe because there we go. It's a little better. I brought my chair in the Spanky's office. It's more comfortable than this chair I be using, that he be using. So we'll do it like that. But anyway, I'm Gboogie from gboogie.net. I'd like to welcome all the new members that joined over the last couple of days. Normally the documentaries are always still in this window. All the new, updated latest videos are in this box and stuff like that. Reason being, I'm gonna explain something to y'all what happened. The reason it's like that is because, and it's my fault, I guess. Like the old members area with the old videos and all that, it's been breached. It's been compromised. Reason it's been compromised is because this stick cam thing, it'll allow you to log into your Facebook and your Twitter. So what people were doing is like as soon as I come live, right, it'll announce it. It'll update my Twitter on the other members area page. So people were like using that to circumvent it. Like if you follow me on Twitter, every time I pop up, it tells you exactly where we're broadcasting from, even though it's in the members area. So people just automatically, they thought they was beating the system by just following me on Twitter and then logging in, so I took all those videos off the playlist that's in the old box. There's some pretty good videos in there, but I took them all off because people thought they was going to get around everything. So what we did was, it's just like one or two general videos there, and I just took everything else off the playlist. So that's what happened with that. So I just stuff everything in this box right here from now on out. Okay. What I'm here today is it's still like I'm gonna try my best to go over some things again, because once this thing is recording, how the clock is ticking at the bottom of the screen, there's no way that I can label or name this video. It'll just save it. It'll have the date. All I do is hit stop recording and it just saves it. The ones that are labeled are the ones that I upload. Like if I record something, offline and then come online and then just upload it, then I can give it whatever name I want and stuff like that. So I just wanted to go over a few things because it still seems like people are having some issues with this UCC stuff. Again, like it's like 2 videos back, maybe 3 or 4 after that, maybe 3 or 4 after that. I go over it, and I'm not frustrated. It's just I don't know any better of a way than I've been explaining it. So here we go. We'll try it again. UCC filing is a financing, UCC1 is a financing statement. A financing statement is different from a lease agreement or a loan agreement. The finance statement goes with the loan agreement or the lease agreement, and that's where all this stuff comes from. So that's the problem that I guess people are not understanding when it comes to filing UCC. All a UCC1 does is let the world know that someone else has made claims to certain collateral that your company owns. It doesn't have to tell them how much it is. All they need to know is that, you know what I'm saying? And as long as there are no liens, then that means that situation is a positive thing, because it kills a couple of birds with one stone. It shows creditors that it's like the purpose of it is to establish past credit history, some kind of past loan history, showing that someone secured a loan or secured a lease or secured a rental or whatever with your company in exchange for some collateral. That automatically instantly shows that. It instantly illustrates that. It says that somebody, even before they dig any further, it shows that you've done business before, obviously, because somebody has took the necessary steps to secure their interest in whatever they let you borrow. So in case you don't pay it, then they get your computer equipment, then they get your stocks, they get your company. So that's all it shows. The lease agreement, loan agreement, or equipment lease agreement is a separate contract. Like if you sell me or lease me your house or your car, we'll sign some paperwork. You know what I'm saying? That paperwork will have the terms on it. That paperwork could be notarized and registered with the county clerk to make it a public document. You know what I'm saying? That's where the details of how much are. That's where that's laid at. The financing agreement financing statement doesn't say that. It doesn't have a space for it. Now, certain states, if you fill out your UCC one online, they allow you to put this in if you do it online digitally. They have a space for the amount. Some states, they have a space for the amount that you put in. They have a space for the terms. It's a whole separate piece of paper, you know, because you have initial financing statement, then you have your actual financing statement. So just to sum it all up, when you're doing a manual form, no numbers go on that paper, just collateral. That's why that's the part that I don't understand, because I said this a million times, and it says it in the instructions, like every line, it tells you what to fill out. It says this is where you list the person that owes, this is where you list the person that let them borrow. I mean, the secure party. And this is where you list what they gave you in exchange for whatever agreement y'all had. This is what you know, this is your collateral against whatever y'all got going on. Now, if I need to know what you got going on, that will be registered at the county level. It'll go, the two will go to each other. It'll be referenced back to that on your UCC. You know what I'm saying? Some counties, some county recorders, real strict. They won't let you register anything unless it has to do with real estate. But that's not true. You can always go like to the clerk of court if the county recorder won't do it. They even have a UCC level at the county level. Like there's UCC county level, let's put it another way, county level UCC filings as well. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to make sure, because you know you gotta imagine how frustrating it is if I sit here and make 50 videos about it and keep saying it and keep saying it, and then later on today I get like 5 emails asking me, okay, now where do I put the amount? I'll be scratching my head like, wow, you didn't just, do you watch any of the videos? Like, I mean, I know they're not labeled, but we recently just went over this. There's a webinar that's labeled. It says webinar video 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10, and that was on the 17th of last month. So you know that's recent. Then after that, we did the screen share where I showed you a sample of a Dun & Bradstreet sample report, and I showed you the UCC filing section. I showed you how it was worded and everything, the same way I showed you on the documentary. So I don't know. I know some people may feel it's quicker, like instead of like watching them just to go ahead and just hit, you know, just email me. But that's the reason why I keep putting the stuff out like so redundantly, so that way it's like now, like I'm saying it again, so that way it sinks in. So that way, if it got to get to the point where every video is about UCC filings, then that's what I got to do then. So that way I won't hear that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so easy. It's like maybe some forms have 8 lines, some forms have 10 lines, some have 14, and it's so easy to follow the instructions on it. So just wanted to make sure I put that out there. For anybody that wants to join in this conversation, all you got to do is click on the screen or click on the icon with the man on it or something like that, and you just enter your whatever password you're going to use, and then whatever nickname you're going to use, and then hit enter, and it'll let you in. Another good thing too, we had just got back from a trip that we had to take care of some business. So while we were gone over the weekend, we had the IT guys come in and tighten up the bandwidth and all that, our latency, like all the routers up a little higher so the school buses won't mess with it now. So now we good. So we don't have any problems or any, you know, things cutting back on and all that like the last couple of videos, because that was killing me. So we just had to wait till the people came, with the first chance that people could get to come through here and take care of that for us. So they on their job, they got us right. So we're good. But I see you got 3 people here. I'm gonna tell y'all something too, because I think like a lot of people, they keep that, like they stay logged in. Sometimes you miss a lot of stuff when you stay logged in, because when I make updates, you won't get to see them. You know what I'm saying? You always gotta refresh it or log out and log back in, because a lot of people do that, and then later on, a couple months later, they calling me or emailing me for a new password because they never saved it. That's not good. But as long as it's working, then that's cool. But it's always good, like to log in and log out, and you can see any kind of updates, anything that need, you know, anytime you refresh the page, if something new is there, then you get an opportunity to you know, see the changes or anything like that. But that's really the reason I sat down. I'll probably pop back up at 3. No, since I'm gonna pop back up at 3, so that way I let everybody know be back here at 3, because it just seems like if it's nobody here or nobody's logging in to ask questions, it kind of kills, it defeats the purpose, because it's like we're at a point like the file isn't, file still looks the same, so it's nothing new to point out. But it's at this point I need to know where everybody else is at so far, as on our daily thing, like where like what have everybody else seen, have your trades hit just like mine have hit on those same Sundays. Like that's the kind of feedback we need, so that way we can see what orders people place, where they're at right now in their situation, so that way we get move forward, because after we get to a certain point everybody's goals are different. So one individual business owner might be trying to do something else, while somebody else might be trying to get different funding from a whole different avenue. So when you get to that fork in the road, that's why I need the feedback to really help people. So because this type of stuff is not really like a blanket thing. Like it's only blanket when you get to a certain point. Like the steps are the same up to a certain point, but depending on what you're shooting for, like a lot of people may have products, and or may know of whatever it is they're trying to do, may be able to develop some kind of ebook or some kind of product about it, and so you can sell that kind of stuff to the government, and you can get government contract. And that right there, you may have been on a whole nother path, but just that alone will secure you, like with a government, or order like so many thousands of them from you, and you get one of those smart pay cards, and you in the system. You know what I'm saying? So it's always an option to think about. As far as anything else, it always works better when we base it off of feedback, bouncing it off each other. So I don't know. That's why I like this software when it works, but I hate it when it's 5, 6, 8 people and nobody's logging in to talk. So it seems like there's either confusion on how to log in, or I don't know. So I don't know, because I don't want to keep switching up different softwares we use, because then the videos will get scattered everywhere. It's better to keep them like nice and orderly in one spot. And I guess that's it. I just wanted to come on and mention that again about the UCC filings. UCC1 financing statement. Even you can Google out the word financing statement. If you have a dictionary at home, look up the word financing statement, and it'll tell you what it is. It's just a form that lists collateral that's secured by some other loan, lease, or some other consideration off to the side over here. But this paper just says, if you don't pay me whatever it is we agreed, this is what you're securing it with. And this is telling the world this. So when that's why I told you to always terminate them, which is a UCC3. You terminate them before you get ready to apply for revolving. When you're at a net 30 level, it's a beautiful thing, because it's like when you're coming in and you're looking for net 30s, you have nothing. You have a clean slate. But if you set up your UCC filings at the beginning, when you're coming in looking for net 30s, you've already got stuff up there. You've got a loan, a lease, equipment lease, car, whatever the case may be, office lease, whatever the case may be. You've got that on there already. So then it's less likely Uline will turn you down, and some of these other companies won't turn you down. Even if they do, or whatever the case may be, you still have a couple of UCC filings in your report, positive filings. Then the few 2 or 3 or 4 trade lines, the nets, whatever you decide to get, those nets are add on. 3 or 4 is usually good, because if you do 2 or 3 UCCs, 3 or 4 net 10s or 15s or net 30s, it'll give you like 6 or 7 trade lines. You know what I'm saying? Right out of the gate. You know what I mean? So that's a beautiful thing. So using that to pyramid up, if you cancel or terminate your UCC1, or make amendments to it as months go by and release a piece of collateral, it shows that. It'll show everything you do. It'll show the date it was filed. It'll show every update and amendment, like as time goes on. If you make a change in it and release a piece of collateral, they'll announce that. So it announces to the world, like, wow, okay, they had a couple loans, and as time went on, it's like a secure loan. As time goes on, you don't need the security anymore. And when you want to terminate that before you go to your revolving account, so that way, if Staples is looking at you to give you some money, it's not like Staples like, wow, well, we can't give them so much, because looking at this UCC, His company's is tied up tight. Like if he don't pay us, like we beat. You know what I'm saying? Because this person, whoever he got these loans, leases, and rentals with, they got the stocks tied up. They got the equipment tied up. They got the vehicles tied up. They got everything. They got cash loan. All that's tied up. So why would I loan you some money knowing that if you can't pay me, I can't get a nickel from you? I can't. If this person already got dibs on everything that's left. You know what I'm saying? So that's the purpose of that. So once you do a termination on it, it'll show that it was terminated. It'll show the whole pattern. It'll show it was filed. It'll show collateral being released over the months. Like I say, like I use like a 3-month term, period as an example. But it'll show every month a piece of collateral coming off. You know what I'm saying? And so just before you go to file for your revolving accounts like Staples, Office Depot, Sears, and all that, it'll be terminated, and it'll show that that's a past a past credit history. It'll show that somebody secured something. The public documents will show how much it was in the paperwork. All this stuff will show. Your back taxes, like Dun & Bradstreet will research that. They will put that on your report. I'm telling you. So all the information, all the slots that need to be filled, it'll be filled. So before you go to Staples and you look at your report, it'll show tremendous activity. You know what I'm saying? Positive activity. Your file will look more. I don't know. It'll look more correct. It'll look much more like it's supposed to look. More. It will be less blanks and more things filled in. And that's the whole purpose. Like I'm telling you, what everybody's doing on these other sites and like all this stuff, Dun & Bradstreet and the credit, all this stuff has been restructured. Like that's why if you ever notice anything that has to do with this kind of stuff, they chase it down, they find it, and they stamp it out. That's why there's so many personal credit repair companies that failed. Like all that piggybacking people were doing, getting on people's credit cards to raise your score, that's dead. Like all that stuff anytime somebody comes up with something, they find it and they kill it. So all these other sites trying to chase trade lines and trying to find a store that sells like clamshells or something, but they're giving net 30 terms, and that's the unnecessary. Like you could do that later, like when you want to move up. Once you get your first taste of revolvings, because the revolvings is where that a revolving account makes up for maybe like 30% like weight on your file. You know what I'm saying? So the more revolving accounts you have, the better. And so once you step up into Staples, Office Depot, and maybe a gas card, that with if it's done at the right time, use it at the right time of the month, as y'all already know what I mean by that. It kind of times out just right, so where you have the nets, you got the revolving, and you got your UCCs. And as long as you're playing the bank on the left too, where you got to have a bank account. If you don't have enough funds to get a secure loan, you got to work towards that. Get some kind of secured loan. You need that badly. Even if you could get a CD, anything like that, like anything, even if it's for $500, whatever the case may be, you need that. I don't know if there's any. I don't think any more. Well, Capital One had one. There's not really a large amount of companies. There used to be a whole bunch of prepaid, not prepaid, like secured credit cards for businesses, but very hard to find those these days. I used to have them, so that way that this. When I say secured card, I don't mean like Green Dot. I mean like the Capital One, like the Tribute, like the Aspire cards, where you send them $20, they give you a $300 limit, but then they send you a bill for like $100 and something. You know what I'm saying? Right off top, and then they slowly work you up. You have a $300 limit, then it'll go up to $500, then it'll go up to $800, then $1,200. Like that kind of stuff. Like that's what you need, because you need a bank reference. You have to have a bank reference. Make sure you have a checking and a savings account. You need a bank reference. That way you have your UCC filings, your leases, and your rentals. You got your nets, you got your revolvers, and you got your bank. That's a credit report. That's a credit file. That's the ultimate. Even no matter what the numbers look like, that's a credit report. So don't have any problem with that. Like we'll get into that stuff though. But I just wanted to make sure we came here. Hopefully when I come back at 3, we'll have some people to explain to the others like how to actually log in. Cause I can't. This not fun. Like just sit here and it's like I'm just sitting here talking to myself. So I'll be back at 3 o'clock. Eastern time. Right now it's 12:16 Eastern time. So Gboogie from Gboogie.net. Might give a sneak peek. I got to stop giving sneak peeks too. That's why I don't really say much. But I'm gonna give a sneak peek because we gonna put something together. But for the personal credit side, like I already said this once, the UCC works the same on the personal side too. Couple UCCs to raise your personal score, 100 points or so. Along with some other things like some UCCs, take off a couple, just like little strategies. I'm just gonna get this out. I'm gonna leave it alone. But like, cause we're gonna get into it on the other site in a minute, like, and real soon. But like a UCC, couple UCCs, especially from a business, couple of, because that's the whole plan really. You set your business up, and then we'll slide over to there after everybody gets the business credit right. Then you use your business credit to pull your credit up if it's kind of low. So, couple of UCCs, couple of disputes, and mixed in with a few other things, raise your score like 100, about 100 points. That's usually what everybody needs anyway. Like usually if you had a 500 or something, or 580, or 680 wouldn't be bad. Or even if you had a 480, like 580 wouldn't be that bad. Like, so to raise your score 100 or something points, no matter how much bad is on there, it's just that the good would have to outweigh it, and then you have to backdate it so that because time, the length of the account means a lot on the personal credit report. So that's where the backdating and the aging and all that stuff comes from. But we get into that. We're to get into that a whole other time. I just need to like get this right, like it should be, and then I can be over there most of the time. So, but see y'all later at 3. Gboogie from Gboogie.net had the IT guys out here that fixed the internet. That's what's up. It got us right now. So no more glitches unless it's the camera glitching. I can't. A stick cam might crash when it wants to. That's usually like on prime. That's like prime time. So we good. So you can see me